You're at a party. People are laughing around you. Someone just called your name. You smiled back. But deep inside, you felt completely alone. And the scariest part? You couldn't explain why. You weren't ignored. You weren't rejected. Nobody was mean to you. You were right there, surrounded by people. And yet something inside you felt like you were standing behind a glass wall, watching everyone else live their life while you just existed. If that has ever happened to you, even once, this video will change how you see yourself. Because this isn't about being antisocial. It's not about being broken. Science actually has a very specific explanation for why this happens, and most people will never figure it out on their own. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will finally understand yourself in a way you never have before. Loneliness is one of the most painful feelings a human being can experience. But here's what nobody talks about. The loneliest moments in life don't always happen when you're alone. Sometimes they happen in a crowded room, at a family dinner, at a birthday party, even in your own home with people you love. So today, we're breaking down 7 psychological reasons why this happens. These are real, science-backed explanations, and I promise, by the end, you'll feel a lot less alone about feeling lonely. Let's get into it. You're wearing a mask, and nobody knows the real you. Every single day, most of us play a role. At work, we act professional. With friends, we act fun and chill. With family, we act like everything is fine. And slowly, without even realizing it, we forget how to just be ourselves. Psychologists call this surface-level connection. You're present in the room, but the real you is hiding. And when nobody in that room knows the real you, your fears, your doubts, your actual thoughts, you will feel lonely. Because connection isn't about being in the same room. It's about being truly seen. And if you've never shown people who you really are, how can they ever truly see you? Your emotional needs aren't being met. Here's something most people don't understand. Not all social interaction feeds the soul. You can spend 10 hours with people and still feel empty if those conversations were shallow. Talking about the weather, gossip, or what's on Netflix, that's not real connection. What your brain actually needs is someone who listens without judgment. Someone who gets you. Someone where you can say, "I'm really struggling right now," and they don't change the subject. If your circle doesn't offer that kind of depth, you'll feel lonely even in a crowd. Not because they're bad people, just because your emotional hunger isn't being fed. You feel different from everyone around you. Have you ever sat in a group and thought, "I just don't fit here"? This is one of the most common hidden causes of loneliness. When you feel like your values, your humor, your interests, or your way of thinking doesn't match the people around you, your brain registers that as isolation. And here's the cruel part. You can be laughing, nodding, joining in, but internally, a quiet voice is whispering these people don't really get me. Psychologists call this belongingness gap, when your need to belong isn't matched by your actual environment. And it creates a loneliness that's very hard to explain to others, because from the outside, you look totally fine. Past emotional wounds are still running the show. This one goes deep. If you've ever been hurt in the past, rejected, betrayed, abandoned, or made to feel like you're too much, your brain learned a lesson. A painful one. It learned people can hurt you. Getting close is dangerous. So now, even when you're surrounded by kind, good people, a part of you keeps its distance. You hold back. You don't fully open up. You protect yourself before anyone even gets the chance to hurt you. The problem? That same wall that keeps out pain also keeps out real connection. You're not lonely because people aren't there. You're lonely because old wounds are keeping them at arm's length. You're comparing your inside to everyone else's outside. Social media has made this 100 times worse, but it started long before that. You walk into a room and everyone seems confident, happy, connected. They're laughing, they're talking easily. They seem like they've figured life out. And you think, why don't I feel that way? What's wrong with me? Here's the truth. You are comparing your inner experience to everyone else's outer performance. They feel the same doubts, the same insecurities, the same quiet loneliness. They're just better at hiding it in public. When you believe everyone else is doing fine and only you feel empty, you isolate yourself even more. You don't reach out. You don't open up. And the loneliness grows. You don't feel understood, even when people try. Sometimes people around you do care. They ask how you're doing. They try to be there. But you still feel alone. Why? Because feeling understood is different from being heard. You can talk to someone for an hour and still walk away feeling like they didn't really get it. Like your words came out wrong. Like the full weight of what you feel never actually transferred. This often happens to people who feel things deeply. People who overthink, who are highly sensitive, who carry complex emotions. When your inner world is rich and complicated, surface-level conversations start to feel like speaking a different language. And that disconnect, that gap between what you feel and what you can express, is one of the loneliest feelings there is. You've lost connection with yourself. This is the one nobody wants to hear, but it might be the most important. Sometimes the reason we feel lonely around others is because we're already lonely inside ourselves. You've been so busy performing, surviving, pleasing others, chasing goals, that you've slowly lost touch with your own thoughts, your own desires, your own emotions. You don't fully know yourself anymore. What makes you happy? What you actually want? What you truly feel? And when you're disconnected from yourself, no amount of people around you can fix that. Because the real loneliness isn't out there. It's inside. And the only person who can walk back towards yourself is you. So those are the 7 psychological reasons you feel lonely, even when you're surrounded by people. And here's what I want you to take away from this. You are not broken. You are not weird. You are not too sensitive or too hard to love. You are a human being with deep emotional needs, and the world doesn't always make it easy to meet them. The first step to healing this kind of loneliness isn't finding more people, it's understanding yourself more. Start there. If this video made you feel seen, even a little, drop a comment below. I read every single one. And share this with someone who might need to hear it today.